Hello, my name is Michelle, and you're listening to Profit is a Choice. Hello, and welcome to another Monday Minute with Michelle. On this Monday Minute with Michelle, one of the things we're going to talk about is what you should fix next, meaning where should you put your attention. This is one of the most fun parts of my job is working and talking with individual business owners such as yourself and trying to figure out where they need to spend the time and attention and the money and the resources for the next thing that they're working on in their company. You know, every company, no matter the age or the stage, we're always working on something. There's always some area that's coming up that we need to focus on. And so trying to figure out what that is and where to put that attention can sometimes be a struggle when you feel like you need to put your attention in all the places all the time. And it's just not even possible. Every day, empowered entrepreneurs are taking ownership of their company financial health and enjoying the rewards of reduced stress and more creativity. With my background as a financial software developer, owner of multiple businesses in the interior design industry, educator, and speaker, I coach women in the interior design industry to increase their profits, regain ownership of their bottom line, and to have fun again in their business. Welcome to Profit is a Choice. And so one of the things we always look at is I'm Fix This Next certified and have been for many years. And so I love that framework. The framework says that our businesses start with sales. That's the lifeblood of the business. That's what's bringing in some money and pumping some energy through the company. Also, if we have not proven our concept through some type of a sales process, how do we even know that the community that we're working in wants what it is we have to offer? So we have to start with looking at sales. That means making sure that we've got our ideal product, ideal services, ideal client, that we can fulfill the sales process, that we can show up in a way that gets the work done. And so sales is always the first line of where we start. We know we can figure it out later. If you've been in business any amount of time, I am sure that you've had an opportunity for work to come up and your thought process is, I'm going to say yes, I'll figure it out later. That's part of the sales process. After sales, when you start to find that your business is making money, money's coming in, we start looking at profit. How much money is coming in the door? Am I making the money I need to make? Are my margins in a good place? So we're starting to focus more on profitability because we have sales to support that work. Once we have sales and profit, the next place that we tend to focus on is going to be order. We're going to be looking at the processes in the company, those standard operating procedures, how we do things, really looking at efficiencies and creating even an employee order and management order, a communication order. So we're starting to kind of wrap our arms, if you will, around all the different parts and pieces of what's going on. So once we've covered sales and profits and order, we start looking at impact. Impact is how are we having an impact, first and foremost, I would say internally in the lives of those that are on your team. Next, what is the impact that we're having externally? What is the impact that maybe we're having in the community? A longer term impact. How are we showing up? What are we doing? And then lastly is legacy. How long is this business going to go? Is it going to survive you? Is it going to be turned over through either a sale or, giving it to a child or working with someone internally to take it over? What's going to happen? Can the business continue on and do that management turn? How do we start putting other people in place and positioning the company for that? Many businesses really only get up to the order. They get the sales, the profit, and the order. And that's totally okay if that's where you want to be and that's where you want to stop. But after the sales, the profit, and the order, there are two other stages, impact and legacy. Really stopping to think about what it is that you're working on. And is it a sales problem and we need to get it fixed so that it can fund the profitability studies and the order and the other items that we want to do? Do we have so many sales coming in, but we're not making the money? We're going to go look at profit and order. Do I have money coming in and the sales are coming in, but now, man, it just feels like we're kind of, doubling back or doing things twice or missing things. Order is really going to be where we're going to focus. And maybe you've got through all of that and you're like, now I want to make a bigger impact in my local economy, in a group that I'm in the world around me. What would that fund? And what would that look like? And how would that be? So start thinking about your business from those 5 perspectives: sales, profit, order, impact, and legacy. And ask yourself where you think you are in this kind of journey that you're going to be taking as a business owner. Where do you need to focus? If you need additional help with that, feel free to check us out at scarletthreadconsulting.com. We'd love to jump in and help you figure out what your next steps will be so that you can make the most money that you can possibly make while being a really good steward of the business and fair and reasonable for both you and your client. That's the goal, fair and reasonable, but there's no reason that we can't make a good living doing what we do. If you need more information, be glad to help you, and always choose to be profitable, because profit doesn't happen by accident. Profit is a Choice is proud to be part of the designnetwork.org, where you can discover more design media reaching creative listeners. Thanks for listening, and stay creative and business minded.